This is the Homeschool Command Center, and this video walks you through it tab by tab. Homeschooling is not the hard part. Proving it is. The worry that arrives in the first year is not can I teach this? It is can I show it? Am I legal? Is she behind? Will a registrar take this seriously? That is an evidence problem, and evidence is the thing a spreadsheet is genuinely good at. Here is the whole file. 20 tabs, and they fall into 4 jobs. The setup tabs tell the file who you are and what your state asks for. The teaching tabs run from the weekly schedule through to the assignment tracker. The record tabs are the gradebook, the report cards, the credits, and the transcript. And the last 2 are the pages you hand to somebody else. One rule holds everywhere. Cream cells are yours to type in, and every white cell calculates itself. Chapter 1. Start here, year setup and students. The 3 tabs you fill in first. Start here is a reading tab, the 6 things to fill in first, and a live map of all 20 tabs. Year setup is where the typing begins. Your state from a drop-down, the first and last day of the school year, and as of date that acts as the files today, and your term structure. Then your own hour and day targets. Students is 1 row per child. From a birth date and a grade it works out the age, suggests an hour target for that grade band, and reads days and hours back off the daily log. Chapter 2. State requirements, and the honest finding sitting inside it. This is the reference table year setup reads from. Every jurisdiction gets a row, the regulation level, required days, required hours, whether you file a notice of intent, whether an assessment is required, subjects, record keeping, a note, and a source. 16 states carry a day figure. 12 carry an hour figure. You type nothing on this tab. You pick your state on year setup, and this table answers. The rest of the rows read none specified, and the sheet says plainly that this means the research found no such requirement, not that we left it blank. Ohio is the example. It removed its hour, day, teacher qualification and assessment requirements for home education in October 2023. The table records that, names the statute, and year setup explains why this family still holds itself to 900 hours anyway. The table is dated, it is reference only, and it is not legal advice. Verify your own state. Chapter 3. Attendance and hours, the tab everything else leans on. The headline is an average, not a guess. Across 3 children, the average is 608.3 hours against the 900-hour target. 68%. On school day 129 of 179. The sentence underneath is written by the file. It names the pace, and it names the child who is behind. Field trip hours sit in their own box, 60.5 of them, credited separately and never folded into the daily total. Underneath, 1 block per child, and 2 columns do the real work. Expected by now is your target scaled by how far through the year you are. Ahead or behind is the difference. Chitty is 51 hours short, so his row turns red and his status says so. The last column projects the date each child finishes at the pace they are actually keeping. His reads June 18th. That is the whole point of finding out in March. The daily log is the only place hours get typed. 1 row per weekday of your school year, dated for you already. For each child you set a status and the hours. The file adds the day total, labels the day type from your holiday table, and tags the term. Every figure above it, and the year-end verdict at the far end of the file, is a sum of these rows. Chapter 4. The 5 tabs that hold the teaching week. Weekly schedule is 3 blocks, 1 per child, 8 time slots by 5 days, with a live count of the slots you filled. Loop and block planner is for families who do not run a fixed timetable. You list the subjects, and the file counts days since each was last done and flags the one that has waited longest. Curriculum planner turns total lessons and lessons done into % complete and a projected finish date. Assignment tracker is the only place a grade gets typed. Chapter 5. The gradebook and the 3 report cards that print from it. You never type a grade on the gradebook. It reads the assignment tracker and averages each category for every child in every subject, then applies your weights from year setup. Here is the honest part. If a category has no graded items yet, it drops out and the remaining weights rescale, and the sheet shows the weight it actually used rather than quietly dividing by a category you have not started. Report cards mirror all of it onto 3 printable pages. Chapter 6. High school credits, and the transcript they print onto. On high school credits you type 1 row per course. The school year, the grade, the course name, the subject area, the credit, the level, the letter grade, and the status. The transcript is the page that prints. 4 year blocks of 7 courses each, a credit total, and both grade point averages per year, then a certification sentence and a signature line for the administering parent. This is the document a registrar actually asks for. The cumulative record does the arithmetic in the open. Credits earned, in progress, planned, and the total at graduation. Then 2 grade point averages, 3.88 unweighted and 4.16 weighted. The weighted figure is higher because honors and advanced placement courses carry a bump, and that bump is a cell on the credits tab you can change to match how your umbrella school does it. Planned courses carry no grade, so they move neither average. Chapter 7. The reading log, the field trips, and the budget. Reading log is 1 row per book. 35 books and 6,392 pages in this sample. Those minutes are deliberately kept out of your instructional hours, and the sheet says so. Field trips and co-op logs the destination, the cost, the miles, and the hours you credit, and those hours stay on their own line for the same reason. Supplies and budget takes a planned figure and an actual figure per line, and the working total uses the receipt where you have one and the estimate where you do not. Chapter 8. The portfolio, and the 1 page that closes the year. Portfolio Builder is 50 rows, and the column families forget. The work sample, the date, and where it actually lives. Binder tab 4, or a folder on the laptop. 22 samples across 3 children here, 10 subjects covered. You type the sample and the location. The file counts coverage per child and flags anything filed somewhere other than the binder, so you are not hunting for it the night before an evaluation. Beside the samples is a block called the year in words. 1 short narrative per child, written by you and not generated, because an evaluator reads that first and no formula should pretend to know your child. The file simply gives it a place to live and prints it beside the evidence. Year in summary has nothing to type at all. Per child it shows days and hours against each target, and then the projection, what each child reaches on the last day of the year at the pace kept so far. It closes with 1 compliance sentence naming your state, the hours, the days, and the child behind pace. Reference and tips explains how every calculated column works, how to add a 7th child, and how to reset for next year. That is the whole file. The setup, your state, the hours, the grades, the transcript, the portfolio, and the year-end page. $24.97, one time, with free lifetime updates. One last thing, and it matters. You own this file. It is yours to change. Add a column, rename a subject, move a target, delete a tab you will never use. Nothing breaks when you make it your own. The teaching is yours. The proof is handled.